yes.
Someone did actually write in about life circumstances and issues. And some of the questions, it says, I hope you can guide me on. How do I know when suffering comes from ego versus life circumstances? And all suffering comes from I am somebody else. The answer to this question, invisible, anonymous, unidentified identity. We use the word presence, but presence is pointing to invisible, unidentified identity. Spontaneous, just I, just I. Nothing, just. And someone had asked also a little while ago, how do you know that there's a selfless self? And selfless self, again, is a pointer to invisible, anonymous, unidentified identity. And you know that it's not nothing because where all experience ends, there you are. There's never a blank. There's never a knock on the door. Who's there? Somebody's there. Somebody has to be there to say nobody's there. The sense of existence, the just I, has appeared to that which is there with no knowledge of being there until the sense of existence, oh, I exist. Because they were mentioning about how Buddha said nirvana and such, that there is no nothing. But we use, again, the word nothing. See, whenever we're in the body and we try to explain the realities through the body-based, it's not possible because through the body-based, we're actually assuming a position and you are positionless. At the best, when through meditation, this just I, this subtle, again, we say presence, but it's invisible, anonymous, unidentified identity that you are. The invisible listener listening. It's not the ears that are listening. The invisible listener is listening through the bubble of illusion, the telescopic sort of instrument of the body that is seeing inside of the world, but the world is within you, just as a dream. So a lot of the pointers can go back to dream, because you know, when you lay down and sleep at night, you go, quote, deep sleep, you're off. Yes, then suddenly there's a subtle sense of existence. Spontaneously, a dream world is projected. You identify with the body within the dream world as yourself, and you create a story or a scene. You go about and you do all these various different things, or you appear to be doing all these various different things and engaging in all these various activities, but you have never changed from invisible, anonymous, unidentified identity with the body, sense of existence, and a little dream scenario. So these exactly the same. How can I stay in the I am while fulfilling my duties? Well, there's no staying. You are. I am is just the subtle sense of existence, the presence, invisible, anonymous, unidentified identity. Now, you could say, using body form, you can sort of fall back into that sense of presence, into that sense of existence, and for a time, until the conviction is very strong, this may be okay. Just like sitting with this body for meditation, I believe I'm a body sitting, experiencing the subtle sense of presence through meditation. In reality, the invisible, anonymous, unidentified identity has the knowledge of existence, and the presence is meditating on presence. The concentration is on the concentrator, and there is no middleman. We have to, because of long association with the body, we assume there's a middleman. Presence is here. I can feel presence, but presence is invisible, anonymous, unidentified identity. Nothing. Something comes out of nothing, appears for a time, and dissolves back in nothing, but that something is absolutely illusion. And the sense of nothing is illusion. And again, we're in the body-based, where we have to label nothing with something, some word. We can't say, oh, it's, but that would be actually more accurate. You say, oh, it's more like, if I had to describe it, that's more close to reality than saying space or nothingness. Absolute. Again, all of these words are through body base to point to that which is before the sense of existence or before the body, and that you are. You never are not that. You are that. Why do glimpses of the self fade when life gets hard? Simply because you're paying attention to the illusion and not to the reality. You are interested in something because you believe yourself to be something, and you're chasing an experience. Or in the pleasure and pain principle, you're trying not to have this experience. Oh, this experience is very rough. It's very stressful. I don't want this experience. I'd rather be on the beach. But again, you're moving the body around rather than just remaining with your selfless self, because you're the source of peace. It's this I that you keep trying to justify, that you keep trying to protect, that is the disturber of the peace. And even that's not true, because there is no peace being disturbed. How can I remain calm when things get difficult in the home environment? Again, the same. Maharaj says this spiritual life and this so-called life of daily life they're not in conflict. Nisargadatta Maharaj went through many, many challenges and remained with the selfless self. He knew himself in a real sense. He had experienced that true nature. And when the conviction of your true nature is there, anything can be coming and going, and they're just scenes appearing and disappearing. Sometimes the scenes are pleasant, and sometimes they're not. But you don't give yourself away for a scene, whether it be good or bad, because you know the scene is appearing within you, because you have the conviction, oh, so that I am that. Invisible, anonymous, unidentified identity. Accept your selfless self. No God, no Brahman, no Paramatman, no master. Nothing is there. Not the concept of nothing, but the absence of all things. And see, even there, we have to, when you use words, you create, like there's an understanding that appears. Oh, I get that part. Like the absence of everything. And mind, you give it to mind to try to figure it out. What absence of all things? Oh, okay, now I get it. But the I is still there trying to get something. This I has to be blasted. And you can't do it because you are the false, trying to remove and say, I want my true I. But there aren't two I's. There's just the I. The I, invisible, anonymous, unidentified identity with the awareness of existence, and does not need a body form, and does not need a sense of existence. When the sense of existence is no more, the you that you are very much is, and are not going anywhere. How can I use suffering as a spiritual path instead of despair? Well, see, once again, suffering is a mind-created thing. Pain is instantaneous. Oh, I stubbed my toe. Suffering is mentating on the situation. Oh, I wish this was different. Oh, help me, master. This is so terrible. I can't take it. You're building a you. You're building, hammering a hook on which you can hang every terrible thing that's happening to your body-based existence. Rather than remaining with your selfless self, it's spontaneous action in the moment. Yes, it's very troubling. Oh, it's just terrible. But it's finished. It's a scene that appears and disappears. You don't give it to mind. I go back to the example of the food poisoning in the ashram. Most regular folks would say food poisoning is not pleasant. And yet, remaining with your selfless self, staying with the mantra, and allowing the food poisoning to appear and disappear without an experiencer experiencing the food poisoning or identification with someone that can be poisoned and what's going to happen to me. And that was nothing I did. I simply followed Master's instructions and remained with my selfless self through the mantra. The form of the mantra allowed this to just, okay, this is happening. Also, same cab driving at night in the pouring rain. After the ashram, see, it's like a little, almost like a little test, because in the ashram, just beforehand, everyone was saying, wow, India cab drivers can be very crazy, and nighttime driving is very dangerous. And Maharaj came and said, we're traveling through the night. And you're going to get on this cab and they'll take you to the airport in this other city because the military had shut down the roads. So we had to go like a certain, like couldn't go on highways and stuff because the military had shut things down. So I'm traveling and now it starts to pour down rain too. But rather than impressing, oh, be careful, dangerous cab. Oh my God, now it's raining. Oh my God, am I going to survive? Instead, Master's instructions, remain with your selfless self through the form of the mantra. Just sit in the cab, breathing in, breathing out. Mantra running naturally through the body, invisible, anonymous, unidentified identity, the invisible listener listening to the mantra. Oh, so that I am that, not following along with a stream of thought. Maybe thought was there. I don't know, because I was concentrated on my own selfless self. And got to the airport, and there was no experience of being in a cab, in the rain, in the dark, not on a highway. None of these things. And this all is experienceable by your own self. You right now, in this very moment, okay, I'm going to remain my selfless self. Mantra. Because sitting in meditation is not meditation. Meditation is remaining with your selfless self, which then brings us to this. How do I stay undisturbed by external problems while awake in life? There is no need to stay undisturbed. There's simply your own selfless self. Disturbance may be there, may not be there, but just die, just die. Go do your job, do your duties. There's no impressions. There's no experience, no experiencer. The absence of experience because you're going through, your mind is focused on mantra. We talk about when Sri Ramakant Maharaj talks about the mother and her children. Children are really, really irritating and not allowing mother to cook the dinner. So what does she do? She gives some toys to the children. So they're playing with the toys and no longer bothering her. And the same with this flow of thoughts. You're concentrating your awareness on the mantra as it's running through the body. Through the form of the mantra, you're no longer identified and pursuing this illusory thought stream and saying, I'm disturbed. Do your job, do your duties, take care of your responsibilities. Perhaps this body-based existence is, you could say, you have a lot of challenges or whatever, and this can be good because these challenges allow you to remain with your selfless self because playing in the illusory world is not tolerable. Maharaj says this I am is not tolerable. And you have to go and have some sort of TV watching or some sort of going to a ball game, some kind of entertainment to keep yourself entertained because this is just not tolerable. Good. Remain with your selfless self. Allow everything to just come and go, and you remain, because you're always going to remain anyway. It's just your illusory thoughts flowing along. Am I being tested by God? There you go. This is good. The ashram was perfect, you could say, the most beautiful test, because it's like an obstacle course, but Sri Ramakant Maharaj has given you the key. Now, you can try to do the obstacle course on your own, or you can get the secret key. And if you hold the key, then the course, no matter what is happening, you're going to flow through the course. You're going to be able to have the food poisoning and go to the India hospital and foreign hospital and have Maharaj leave you in the foreign hospital and have the cab driving experience and have it pour down rain in the cab driving experience. Have the gecko. Don't like vegetables, but still be able to eat the food in the ashram, which, by the way, is a lot of vegetables. And why? Because you have the key. It's a beautiful obstacle course that you can't do. If you try to do it, you will not succeed. You will be very restless. You will say, I had a horrible experience. I got food poisoning. I go over here. This terrible thing happened. I'm eating vegetables all the time. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And believe me, there was a time where I did spout exactly that. I told Maharaj, I said, I can't stand the food anymore. These geckos are running all around my whole house. It's just too much. And he said, well, we can move you upstairs if you like. Like there's no humanness there that says, how dare you? I gave you the primo spot in the ashram, right next to the ashram. The room is so nice, and here you are just bitching and complaining. No, he never said that. He said, well, if this is not suitable, we'll move you to upstairs. No problem. And immediately it came down. Or the experience of the gold, going into the place where all the gold, it was very inexpensive. And that internalness was like, I want. But I went back, I told Maharaj, I said, I could feel this bubbling up. And even with mantra, it still bubbled up. It felt like it was just going to explode. And yet by speaking with Maharaj, remaining with my mantra, as I was told, I had the key. And when I went back with another devotee, it was as if the gold did not exist. There was no blip in my mind that said, I want. I was at home and at perfect peace within my own selfless self. And let's see. Did Sri Ramakant Maharaj have experience like these or suffer in similar ways? I believe he talks about a lot of the things that happened in his life. And life is not easy. That's why if you're trying to live life as a you, again, you're trying to go through the obstacle course when you have the magic key. It's not set up for you to be able to do it. That's why you have the cheat code, so to speak. The cheat code is, here's a mantra, and the invisible, anonymous, unidentified identity, the invisible listener listening to the mantra, running through the body, identifies, oh, it's my story, as Maharaj says. It's my story. And that's why I think it was Sri Nazirat Maharaj, he told someone, he said, when you read the Gita, read it as Krishna. Don't read it as Arjuna. When Krishna says, I am all, I am everything, all the world is in me, you are that. Don't say, oh, that's Krishna talking to Arjuna, and he's like a whole, or Jesus, even same thing. Oh, he's a very holy man, I'm not. No, because he doesn't see himself that way. His speaking is invisible, anonymous, unidentified identity, speaking, clear, no sense of self in this mix. And therefore he says, before Abraham was, I am. And oh, Abraham was like hundreds of years ago. How can you say this? Because it's the truth. I am not this body form. The knowledge of existence has appeared. The knowledge of existence will disappear. And yet I am. And now I think this is the last question. Is the selfless self, the I am, pure consciousness without any adjuncts like mind, body, or thoughts? The selfless self is prior to I am. It's self without self. As the I am is there and the knowledge of existence is there, now you have the I am. But prior to I am, you are. Nothing. Just spend all your time with yourself. Because when you spend all your time with yourself, you transcend time, you transcend the concept of self, and you just are. And now again, do your job, do your duties, take care of your responsibilities. Things appear to be happening, but they don't disturb you. Or in the beginning, at least, they're not as heavy and pressing on you. As you become deeper and deeper and deeper in your selfless self, it would be very difficult to disturb you because you're not there. A scene appears and disappears. A scene appears and disappears. You're not taking any egoistic identity of, oh, I'm a very spiritual man, everything's happening as I wish, because there's no you there. And you're also not taking egoistic identity of, oh my God, some of these people, it must be easier for them because I have all these situations, all these problems. No. One of the things being in recovery has taught me is that every single body form is experiencing difficulties in different various degrees. Before going into recovery, there were times where I thought, oh my God, my life, it's terrible. Like I was not this. And I started when they shot the gun and everybody was running, they held me back and waited until everybody had done at least a lap. That's why I am unfair. But then you go and you speak to other and you know, this is just this so-called body-based illusory existence. And again, you can't do it. But that cheat code, that master key is available. Even those who don't have the master key, the people who go to church and they pray, oh, God, help me, and this and that, because this illusory existence is not meant to just be like, I can do it. No, the I that you are is false. How can a false I do anything? Again, even in dream, you could be an Olympic athlete in your dream. You wake up and, oh, I'm just me. Because it's not true. You are not body. You were not body. You're not going to remain the body. Body is not your identity. So acquiring knowledge for the body, useless. Body-based relations, okay, it's nice. Mother, father, all these things. It's not true. But within the bubble of illusion, you have a mother and a father. Mom and dad experience things, tell you, okay. But again, that's do your job, do your duties, take care of your responsibilities. You have a lot of family problems? Okay. This is for the body. People curse you and say, you're stupid. Every time you have any suggestions, you're just an idiot. Like Sri Ramakant Maharaj says, if somebody says I'm a very great saint, I'm not impressed. And somebody says you're a very bad saint, I'm not depressed, because they're not speaking about me. You can't say anything about your own selfless self. You can only say things about something other than yourself. You're qualityless, invisible, anonymous, unidentified identity, without quality. Any quality that you begin to add on to yourself is false. If you had this bucket of space and you put something in it, the bucket of space does not increase or decrease. The space inside your house and the space outside your house, walls come down. It's not like, oh, the space travels where they mix together. Space is space. The illusion is that there's a separation because of walls, just like this body. The illusion is I'm separate from you because here I see you. And then, worse, if I'm identified as myself as this body form, I believe you're this body form. And when I speak to you, I wonder, what does this body form think of me? But the me is myself. There is no separation. And that's it for the questions. I think, yes. Yep. Jai Sadguru.
I guess it can seem futile, but for some reason, I don't know, I guess, I don't know, since I've had intimations of oneness and such, something keeps me going. Oh, even though it can seem futile, it seems like I'm never gonna, I'm in the middle of my sense identification and it's never gonna stop. But then once you get some release, then you start to think, well, this freedom, I'm never going to go back to identification. It's kind of deceptive. Either way of thinking it's going to be this way, or whether it's going to be identification that lasts, or if it's going to be a sense of oneness or freedom that kind of seem to last.
Just come and
Either,
go, so they can't be the reality. The one on which these are coming and going is reality.
yeah.
Just like when we talk about conviction, I guarantee you, when you wake up in the morning, you are not confused about whether you're in dream or in reality, so to speak. The
Yeah.
conviction was it was a dream and it's finished. when you know yourself in a real sense, this is a long dream. I am somebody else is not true. At first in meditation, there's the sense of existence, the sense of presence, the sense I am. And the more you remain with this, the more you know whether I am is or is not I am. I am that I am. Whether I am is or is not, you are.
The idea of having been sleeping is a body-based concept, I guess.
Yes, yes, but that's what I'm saying. When you wake up in the morning, you're not confused that it was a dream. You say, oh, like let's say even you wake up in the middle of the night, very terrifying. Somebody was chasing you with an axe down the hallway, and you wake up. Oh, even you might be a little bit out of breath. Oh, just a dream. You're not confused. There's no confusion. There's no doubt. You don't like turn on the light and make sure the guy's still not chasing you down the hall. You know, oh, it was a dream. And when you know yourself in a real sense, it's the same. And yet tonight you lay down and sleep and you dream again. Why? Because the sense of existence projects. Little dream body in a little dream world that's experiencing experiences that are not true. When you know yourself in a real sense, little dream body in a little dream world that's experiencing experiences that are not true. Therefore, the level of involvement is based on identification. So remain with your selfless self. Be normal, be simple, be humble, be always with you.
You say
Actually, go ahead.
you say in a real sense, uh,
Yes.
it gives,
Without the use of body, mind, ego, or intellect,
it's
direct experience.
yeah, the use of the word sense could give the impression that it is involved with senses, this
Nope, in a
body.
real sense, meaning not falsely.
Yeah.
If I use the body, mind, ego, intellect to know myself, I'm using false instruments and it's not true. Like I can't use the
Is,
mind to know
is
myself
the
because the
key?
mind came along with the body and I'm prior to the mind. That's why the mind can't show you any images, words, nothing about you because you're prior to it. It's like, hey, I'm going to show you these images. And that's why, too, when you know yourself in a real sense, you're not entertained by the mind because you see it almost like a black and white TV. It's not true. It's just there's something off.
Yeah.
And more meditation, the more you remain with yourself, the self, the more this whole unwinding happens. That's why, like I said, the master key. You've been given the key out of illusion. Here's the mantra. Here is the key. If you try to say Keith is going to go through the maze and figure it out, you will be trapped forever. But if you use the master key, remaining with your selfless self through mantra, and oh, look, no maze. I was frustrated for a moment that I couldn't get out of the maze, and now I see there was no maze.
But it does seem like relativity is present. The illusion, it seems like the illusion is present.
Same with the dream. Your dream feels very real while you're in it. When you wake up in the morning, no matter how dream feeling real it was, you know it's a dream. You could be dreaming that you're in Atlantic City, enjoying and winning all this money, and you wake up, no Atlantic City, no money, no nothing. You had the experience of being in Atlantic City, but it was not true.
it does always pass. It always dissolves. What even the
All experience does, because experience appears on your spontaneous presence.
mm,
It comes and goes. You're not coming and going.
so not only the is it necessary. I mean, you're going to recognize that what you're saying is true, but you also have to just, like you say, just rest and not get involved with whether it's true or not. Just
Well, in the beginning,
mm,
like Nisargadatta Maharaj said, his master told him, remain with the I am. So every waking moment, he remained with the I am, that sense of existence, that sense of presence, invisible, anonymous, unidentified identity. Just die, just die. Something's happening over here? No, just die, just die. Because eventually you see, just like in the food poisoning or in the cab ride, you go through the experience without creating an experiencer that was experiencing, and there's no disturbance because you weren't there. The only way you even know the experience happened is looking back, basically. Oh, look, I'm at the airport now. This is okay. But there was no experience of driving in the rain, in the dark. Yet you can speak about it because, okay, I'm here at the airport. It's no longer in my experience. Because no experiencer, no experience.
would you say
Nothing
it
was
was?
created.
Would you say it was almost like a blackout there?
It's not a blackout. You're 100% fully, Sahaja Samadhi, who they call it or whatever. You're just kind of here, but without a sense of being here.
Mm,
It's not a blackout. You're not high. You're not
mm,
on any kind of like trip.
mm,
It's just scenes appearing and disappearing. You're not flowing along with the mind or attaching thoughts. You're not sitting there making a hook that all this experience can hang on and then claiming it as your own.
mm. Sometimes I get a sense of that, but it's still, not it's not dominant in my experience.
But whether you're getting a sense or not getting a sense is the reality. And the you that you are, these are just experiences appearing on your
Yeah,
on your spontaneous presence.
it's just
That's
more
why
of
we
a
don't try to figure it out. It's like
yeah,
you're like, hey, sometimes I feel that way, sometimes I don't.
mm,
But the you that you are is neither feeling nor not feeling.
mm,
It's the background providing the experience for the feeling and the feeler,
yeah,
but you're not in it.
yeah, yeah.
Consider the space.
It almost seems like a duality, but it's not because one is within the other, so it's not really a
Well,
duality.
one's not true and one is.
Mm,
That's why people used to ask Nisargadatta Maharaj all the time, well, how do I relate? And he says, I can't relate the false world to the truth. There's out, like, where do they piece together? The
mm,
most you could say is the I am is the doorway into the false, or on the other side is the reality, the you are, without the knowledge of existence. I am being the knowledge of existence. When you have the knowledge of existence, it opens the door into the illusory world. Prior to the knowledge of existence is the reality. So you could say that the I am is the door. Presence is the door. That's why Maharaj says, all experience appears upon your spontaneous presence. Because prior to presence, no experience. First experience, I exist. Who exists? That which existed without the knowledge of existence. Knock, knock on the door. Who's there? Nobody's there. Somebody had to be there to say, nobody's there. The sense of existence has appeared to you, and whether it is or is not, you are.